Welcome, everyone. Whether you're driving, maybe in the kitchen, getting breakfast ready, or out for a walk, we're really glad you're here with us.
Yes, welcome.
Today we're exploring Lesson 223 from the course. It's God is my life. I have no life but His.
That title, it can sound pretty stark the first time you encounter it.
It really can.
But underneath, there's this incredibly tender message. It's actually, I think, deeply relieving, especially if you've ever felt overwhelmed, like you're trying to hold your whole world together by yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always appreciate hearing how these lessons land for you. So please share your thoughts, maybe a story that comes up, or any questions.
Definitely.
You can email us at acim@theworldharmonyproject.org, or find us on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Just look for @theworldharmonyproject.
So let's just jump right in and read the lesson itself. Lesson 223, verbatim.
Okay. Lesson 223. God is my life. I have no life but His.
I was mistaken when I thought I lived apart from God, a separate entity that moved in isolation, unattached and housed within a body. Now I know my life is God's. I have no other home, and I do not exist apart from Him. He has no thoughts that are not part of me, and I have none but those which are of Him.
Our Father, let us see the face of Christ instead of our mistakes. For we who are your holy Son are sinless. We would look upon our sinlessness, for guilt proclaims that we are not your Son, and we would not forget you longer. We are lonely here and long for heaven, where we are at home. Today we would return. Our name is yours, and we acknowledge that we are your Son.
So powerful.
It really is. Okay, rewind time. Years ago, first time reading that title, God is my life, I have no life but His. What are your gut reaction?
Oh, honestly, my first thought was kind of a chuckle. Like, what is that supposed to mean?
I had a similar thing. It made me think of that, that old high school put down, get a life, dude. There's something about that word no in the title. Even knowing the course is ultimately positive, that no can initially trigger this fear of missing out, of losing something really important.
It's that default setting, isn't it? Thinking in terms of lack. We hear no, and the mind just leaps to what's being taken away, what fun is being canceled.
Yeah, like a kid being told no more cookies and thinking all happiness is gone forever.
Right. It's that initial ego reaction, that panic. The ego hears, I have no life but His, and it feels like a direct threat to its existence, to its sense of being separate and in charge.
And the course is so gentle there. It almost seems to say, okay, let's actually look at that fear. Who do you think you are when you believe you're separate? What is that life you're afraid of losing?
Because the life the ego clings to, often it isn't really life in the joyful sense. It's more like
a struggle.
Yeah, a struggle, a constant background hum of loneliness, maybe, stress, this endless fight to protect this fragile idea of self that we think we built.
And somehow we convince ourselves that that is freedom. It's kind of backward when you think about it.
It really is. We define my life by, my job, my body image, my plans, my list of problems.
Right, my grievances.
Yes, and we hold on to that definition like it's the most precious thing.
But then, when you start to get a feel for what the course actually means, God being your life, there's this, it's like a huge sigh of relief.
Oh, a massive exhale.
Yeah.
Because it's not taking anything away. It's giving you everything. It's restoring what you didn't even realize you'd let go of.
It's that shift, isn't it?
Yeah.
From just trying to survive to actually being held, being safe, being loved, just because you exist, not because you earned it.
And that feeling, that's what we're all secretly searching for, isn't it? Even when we think we're chasing a promotion or a relationship or whatever, that deep peace, that sense of belonging, that's the real homecoming.
Sometimes people hear this idea, God is my life. It's like you'll lose your sense of humor or your interest in, everyday things.
Right. That fear of losing the color and the spontaneity, like you'll end up walking around in some kind of holy fog.
But it's really the opposite, isn't it? When you let go of that constant need to manage your image.
Oh, there's so much more space.
So much more room for actual joy, for just being present with people, for curiosity, for genuine warmth.
It's not about becoming less. It's about becoming more truly yourself. It's an expansion into what was always there. It's seeing the world differently, not necessarily leaving it.
I think about people I've met who seem to live from that space. They aren't dull at all. They're often really vibrant.
They laugh easily.
Yes, and they listen well. There's this quiet confidence there that doesn't need to shout or shrink away.
Which connects right back to that opening line.
I was mistaken when I thought I lived apart from God.
Yeah. That separate life, the one we might feel we have to fiercely protect, that's the mistake we can just let go of.
And when we let it go, we're not giving up life. We're returning to real life.
So if you, listening, had that flicker of panic with the title, like we did, maybe see it this way. The ego might be screaming loss, but what you're actually losing isn't your life.
You're losing the fear.
Exactly. And what you gain, or rather remember, is the one thing you couldn't ever truly lose anyway. Your real identity shared with God. That wholeness, that's the gift here.
Okay, let's try and pull out some of the core takeaways from this lesson, because it's short, but wow, it's dense.
It really is. But underneath that potentially shocking title, it's so incredibly gentle, reassuring, actually.
So first big one, maybe the foundation of the whole course, we were never separate, period.
Right.
The lesson says it right at the start. I was mistaken when I thought I lived apart. If it was just a mistake, an illusion.
Then we aren't fundamentally lost or broken. We don't need fixing. There's no massive journey to earn our way back. We're already there.
We just forgot. We spend all this energy propping up this separate self we think we made.
Managing it, defending it.
And the course just gently reminds us, you were created by love. That hasn't changed, can't change.
Okay, second takeaway, building on that. Our real life is God's life.
Not just like it, not a copy. It is his life. That line again, God is my life. I have no life but his. And like you said, what initially felt maybe a bit scary.
Now feels like freedom.
Yeah, relief.
Well, yeah.
Because the alternative, believing it's all on us, build it, manage it, protect it, define it, that's just exhausting.
Completely exhausting. You never get a day off from being you. But if our life is shared with God, if it is God's life, then we're safe. We're held. Always.
Then there's this huge one. We are sinless.
Wow. Yeah.
That can be tough, can't it? Especially if we're used to defining ourselves by mistakes or things we feel guilty about.
Very tough. We're so conditioned to focus on flaws.
But look how the lesson frames it. It's saying guilt is basically a liar.
Right. It's not saying guilt is bad, just that it's wrong. It's making a false claim about who we are. It's not part of our actual identity.
Guilt is based on the mistake of separation. If separation isn't real, guilt has no foundation.
It just dissolves. And the fourth takeaway. This one feels very human, very honest. It's about the longing for home.
We are lonely here and long for heaven. The Course doesn't pathologize that feeling. It honors it.
Yes. That ache isn't a sign that something's wrong with us. It's more like a signal, a homing beacon.
A signal that we're ready.
Ready to remember. Ready for something more real than the ego's stressful version of life.
And heaven in the Course. It's not someplace up in the clouds we go to later.
No, it's right here, right now. It's the awareness of oneness.
The feeling, the knowing that there's no gap between us and God, no conflict, no fear, no guilt, just peace, love, being totally, completely home.
And that's what we're longing for, that feeling, that safety, that knowing we belong. Missing ourself, really, our shared identity.
So that longing for heaven the lesson mentions, it's actually the moment we start waking up. The moment we realize the ego's substitute life isn't enough. It's the beginning of remembering where home truly is.
So when you hold all those together,
no separation, God's life is our life, we're sinless, the longing is a guide.
That initial fear about having no life, it just starts to fade, doesn't it?
Yeah, because what's being offered isn't less, it's immeasurably more, fuller. And it was ours all along.
You know, there's a story I sometimes think of with this lesson. It's not directly from the Course, obviously, but the feeling of it fits so well.
Oh, please share it.
Okay, so imagine a man who spends years, maybe decades, building his absolute dream house. Every detail perfect. He puts everything into it. Time, money, energy. He's convinced that this house, once finished, will finally bring him that deep sense of peace, that feeling of being truly home.
Okay, I can picture that.
But then he moves in, and it's nice, it's beautiful, but that profound peace, it doesn't quite arrive. There's still this little hum of restlessness underneath. So he keeps tinkering maybe new furniture, different paint, better landscaping, trying to make it feel like home.
That sounds familiar. That low-grade dissatisfaction, even when things look good on the outside.
Exactly. Then one weekend, he goes to visit an old friend who lives really simply out in the country. Small house, nothing fancy, just quiet fields, maybe some trees.
Okay.
And the moment he gets there, sits on the porch, hears the wind, something inside him just relaxes completely. No need to impress anyone, nothing to prove. He just is. And he breathes freely for what feels like the first time in ages.
And he realizes the feeling isn't coming from the friend's house.
He gets it. That feeling of stillness, of being utterly at home, it had nothing to do with the building itself. It was something inside him, or maybe something in the quiet, the simplicity, the lack of striving.
So the dream house wasn't the problem.
No, the house was fine.
It just wasn't the source of home.
Right. He didn't need to tear it down or sell it. He just needed to stop looking to it, to give him something it couldn't give. His identity, his peace.
And that ties right back into the Course's idea of heaven, doesn't it? It's not about rejecting the world, the house, the job, the life circumstances.
Yeah.
It's about shifting where we look for our peace, our reality, returning to the truth underneath it all.
Yes. Finding that home within. And that ache the man felt in his big, perfect house, that was his longing for heaven. That part of him knew there was something more, something real he wasn't finding in the structure he built.
So many of us have that experience, maybe on a smaller scale. You get the thing, the job, the relationship, the degree, and it's okay. It's good, even. But there's still that subtle sense of, is this it?
Or you build up this impressive self, this persona
Yes.
that requires constant upkeep. And it's just tiring. It doesn't feel like you.
That's the ego's life, isn't it? Always needing a little more effort, a bit more proving, a little more stuff. And then this lesson cuts right through it. God is my life. I have no life but his. We're not here to earn our peace. We're just here to remember it.
And sometimes that remembering isn't some huge revelation. It's just a quiet shift and noticing, I don't need this thing, this situation, this approval to mean what I thought it meant. I don't need it to validate me anymore.
So this lesson, maybe it's less a command and more an invitation.
An invitation to look again, gently, at what we've built, what we're holding on to so tightly, what we think defines us.
Because it's not that the house, the job, the relationship is wrong. It's just they aren't you.
You're not the structure, you're the light inside it.
The wholeness that was always there.
So maybe, for you listening, just take a moment today, perhaps. Ask yourself gently, where have I been acting like I have a life separate from God's? What am I still trying so hard to maintain or protect because I think it makes me real?
And then maybe try flipping it. What if I really let it sink in today that my life is God's? Not just as a nice idea, but as something practical. How might that change how I walk through this day? How might today look different?
And it doesn't have to be complicated. You could just start by noticing where peace feels missing, where there's friction or strain, and just let that be the place you invite God in. Just a gentle opening.
Because we're not trying to fix ourselves or our lives. That's not the Course's way.
No.
All we're ever doing is remembering. That's always the move. Return, remember, reconnect.
Maybe find an affirmation that feels right for you today. Something simple like, I don't have to hold all this up myself. My life is God's. I am already home.
Thank you so much for joining us for this exploration of Lesson 223. We really do love hearing from you, so please share any thoughts or feelings that came up.
Yes, please do.
We'll be back tomorrow to explore Lesson 224 together.